Welcome to our August town hall. And I am so excited to have an all-around inspirational guy to talk with us today about clear intentions for the balance of 2021 and going beyond, staying for the last 2 quarters of our year. With that, from my favorite team in California, Rancho Cucamonga, Anthony Morel.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Randall. Thank you, Jeff, for setting this up. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Matt. I really appreciate it. I'm actually here live in our Rancho Cucamonga offices. I'm excited to be chatting with all of you. Typically, when I'm doing something along these lines, I'm doing them live and in person. However, I've become more and more accustomed to Zoom. However, with an additional curveball, this is a panelist meeting. So I actually cannot see you all. I'm not able to see your faces, which I would love to see all of your faces. I would love to be able to communicate. However, I see that there's 137 of you out there. So if I could just grab all of your attentions for about the next 30 or so minutes. And if you are paying attention, let's do this. Just type in yes, because I can see the chat box. So if something strikes a chord, I'm going to need you to be able to type, say yes, shout, scream. There you go. Okay, fantastic. So just really quickly before we get started, because I'm an energy type of person, I want everybody to stand up for wherever you're at. If you're typing, stand up a little bit. Stand up. There we go. Okay. Oh, wow, you're all here. Okay, wonderful. Stand up. And we're just going to do a quick 10-second. I just want you to just move your body and get that energy flowing, okay? So on the count of 3, I want you just to jump up a little bit and just get the body moving. Ready, set, 3, and go. 1, 2, 3, go. Woo! I can't see you, so I hope you're jumping. I hope you're jumping. I hope you're moving. Okay, fantastic. Couple of air high fives as we get started. Okay, wonderful. So just for the rest of your life, you can know that you can literally change your state. Boom, just like that. It's that simple. Just move your body around a little bit. You can put yourself in a much better place. So really quick introduction, the topic of conversation, and I'll be transparent. Matt asked me a couple of weeks ago to speak. Topic of conversation I came up with, well, why don't we talk about staying on track for the third and fourth quarter and then getting off to some good momentum in the first half of 2022. I mean, I always ask the question, who would like to have a stronger 2022 than they did 2021, or who would like to have a stronger 2021 than they did 2020? And everybody always shoots their hands up and goes, me, Anthony, me. So I thought, let's keep the conversation along those lines. However, I'm going to take a little bit of a different direction. And if you're taking notes, I just want you to kind of just not write any of this down that I'm going to share, but I'm going to assume I wrote down and that, I'm speaking to a group of driven individuals. I mean, you're with Corcoran Global Living, for crying out loud. So let's just call it, you're disciplined with your schedule. You're involved in personal development, right? You want to see your life grow. You want more production for your life. You want better relationships. You want better health. All of these things are important. So by typing in yes, is that you? Am I talking to you? Are you involved in personal development? You're reading books, you're exercising, you're working constantly at just creating the life of your dreams. Okay, beautiful. That's fantastic. And I just want to share with you where I'm coming from. Okay, so I'm coming to you from a place where I have to share. As I'm writing these notes, these last couple of days, I kind of reflected back. And I'm just reflecting back, and my daughter, she's going to be 10 years old in January. I got in the business 10 years ago. And when I got in the business, I'm sharing with you guys, I was a busser / realtor. So I was half busser at night. I would work till, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'd start work at 8 o'clock. I'd get off of work at 7 o'clock. And then I would scurry over to the office. I would literally catch a 30-minute snooze real fast, wake back up, with a baby on the way type of thing, doing both, right? Juggling both. And the reality is that I was doing everything that you guys are all doing, right? I was reading the books, right? I was highly involved in self-discipline. I was highly involved in seeking education. I mean, if there was a seminar, I was there. If there was a podcast, I was listening to it. I was putting in the hard work. I mean, think about it this way. You're going from work at 5 o'clock in the morning, you're taking a quick hour-long nap, and you're back at the office at 8 o'clock, and and you're ready to go, right? I was ready to role play. I was ready to make my prospecting calls. So I was putting in the work. However, I wasn't really hitting any goals. I wasn't doing any, my life wasn't transforming. I was a busser at night, and I was a realtor. And I never was able to really make that transition until I had a couple of ahas. And as I was reflecting back on some of those ahas, and thinking about my life right now, and I'll tell you guys, God has been just amazing to me. He's created the most beautiful blessings. I have 3 beautiful children. Just this past weekend, we were at the Rams game. It was, we had great seats. It was a fantastic event. Yesterday I'm sitting in my house as I'm writing finishing up the project, and I'm overlooking a golf course of which 6 years ago I had put on my vision board. Okay, I put this on my vision board that I wanted to live on this golf course so I could spend more time with my daughter. I'm sitting in a home that I built, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm blessed. And I started thinking it wasn't always like this. So I started thinking, I really want to make an impact on our CGL family. There may be some individuals that are putting in the work. They're doing all the things that need to be done, but maybe they're just not, they don't feel like they're winning. And so if that's you, this is what I'm talking to you today. There may be some individuals that go, Anthony, you know what? I'm winning and I've been winning, but I'm ready to take my life to a whole nother level. I'm ready to recreate that big win again. So if that's you, then I'm talking to you as well. All right. So I wrote down this. It wasn't so much what I was doing. It was more so eliminating my blind spots, So write that down. I have to now start to work to eliminate my blind spots. And maybe, just maybe, you've heard some of these blind spots in the past. However, they've never been broken down to you in the detail that I'm going to break them down to you. All right. So blind spot number 1 I wrote down was this. I wrote down associations. Write down associations. My mom, and many of you that are parents or grandparents, many of you know, my mom used to always ask me this. If I had a new friend, she would interrogate me about that friend. You parents know darn well that if you want to look at what your kid is going to turn out like, you got to watch who they're hanging around with. Okay. That's bottom line. She would always she wanted to know, what are they doing? What are they up to? What kind of grades do they get? Well, do they do drugs? Do they drink? How late do they stay out? Do they have a curfew? What types of things are they into? Was anybody else's parents like this? My mom used to interrogate me. She used to do it in Spanish. She would interrogate me about my friends. And I would bring people over and she would go, Mijo, I like him, right? Or she's very nice. I like her. And then I'd bring other people over. She'd go, hey, in Spanish, she would say some stuff that basically, I feel the energy meant no go, right? This is no go, okay? So our associations are extremely important. And I wrote down, we have to constantly be monitoring our associations because we know that who we surround ourselves with is what we turn out to become. For some reason, what I've noticed is this, is as we get older, I've noticed that we begin to lose sight of how much influence our associations have over us. We begin to lose sight. We say things like, well, I'm an adult and I can judge who I'm surrounding myself with. It's a total fallacy, by the way. The truth is that I wrote down, we surround ourselves with people that validate us. We surround ourselves with people that agree with us. Okay, they share the same values as us, right? They share the same belief systems as us. So, here is where it gets kind of difficult because, everybody wrote down, well, I want to have a better third and fourth quarter. Crying out loud, we have 156 people that are on here listening. I want to have a better third and fourth quarter. I want to make 2022 more powerful than 2021, right? As a matter of fact, let me ask that question. If you want to earn more income and have a better lifestyle in 2022 than you did in 2021, but just type in yes, because I can't see you. Type in yes. Yes. There it is. Okay, fantastic. Well, sometimes it gets a little bit difficult. So who you're around is a huge influence. I wrote down, I want you to look at the last 90 days of your life. Who are the 5 people that you've spent the most time with? Some are people that you've known for decades in some of these cases. I want to make a prediction. I'm going to make a prediction. And the prediction is this. See, I believe that the people that we surround ourselves with live within right around a 25% range of where we live. They keep us comfortable. So I'm just going to throw out a number. Let's just say you're earning $100,000 a year. Okay, if you're earning $100,000 a year, then typically the people that you surround yourself, for the most part, are going to be earning anywhere along the lines of, you know, 50 to 75 to 125 to $150,000. Typically the people that you surround yourself with. Okay, now they're living in the same world, they're living in the same scope that you're living in, and I'm going to challenge you right now. 5 years from now, if you're still surrounding yourself with those same people, guess what 5 years from now is going to look like? You got it. It's going to look absolutely the same. See, what I learned when I was working hard, okay, when I was waking up at 4:30 in the morning, prospecting every day. I mean, there was a time where I would make 100 contacts a day. Every day, learning to speak a little better. I would show up, we would have our role plays back at my old office. You know, I would show up to the role play every day. I would memorize the scripts. I knew the scripts. I knew all of these things. I mean, I was completely entrenched in becoming better at my business. But what I learned was the reason why things weren't changing was because I was still surrounding myself. I was still going back to the 4 to 5 people that I stayed in communication with all the time. And some of you are thinking, well, you know, oh, I've separated myself, but the reality is, and always remember this, is that distance doesn't separate people, communication separates people. Okay, so some of you still stay in communication with people that are holding you back. By the way, these are typically people that we've surrounded ourselves with for the last 4 to 5 years. They love us, they love me. I mean, they support me, they care for me. So I'm not in any way, shape, or form telling you or advising you to start making a phone call right now and cutting people out. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is this: if you're not in that position to where you can make that decision, we've got to go out and we've got to add one or two new friends. We've got to go out and we've got to add a couple of people that start to inspire us, that kind of wake us up. See, guys, I wrote this example down, and I want to share a little story. So, you know, a couple months ago, we went to Las Vegas. My daughter plays golf. She's a pretty good golfer. She has a tournament in Las Vegas. So we go to Las Vegas, and a couple of the dads that are in our group, we say, hey, why don't we do something special, and why don't we, you know, get a cabana for some of the kids, right? So we got a cabana. It was nice. And watch this. One of the new dads that's now in our group that we hang out with, you know, he's always in his golf clothes, but, you know, it's time to get in the pool. He takes his shirt off. Holy shoot, guys, you know what I'm talking about. This dude's ripped. Okay. This dude's ripped. I mean, he's in phenomenal shape. All of a sudden, guess what I start doing? I start getting a little more uncomfortable with my belly. I'm like, whoa, you know, but that's what happens when we start to shift up that association. When we start, all of a sudden now I'm telling my wife, hey, I got to get back in the gym. You know, hey, I got to get back to eating a little cleaner. What's this lean feast place? But that's the power of association. See, when we invite people in our lives that make us a little uncomfortable, okay, we grow. You guys have heard this before. I'm not rewriting anything here. Nothing grows in comfort, right? Nothing grows in comfort. So we have to take a deep, deep look at what our associations look like. Force yourself to be around people that force you to clean up a little bit, right? Remember that friend in high school that you would invite into your car, and you would have McDonald's wrappers and Taco Bell wrappers all over the floor, and you didn't care. They're your buddy. Because you're comfortable with each other, right? Then you start getting around people like, you know, Michael Mann, you know, Randall, Matt Borland, you know, Peter Lorimer, Josh Painter. All of a sudden, you're getting in my car. My stuff's gonna be clean. Okay, I'm gonna clean my car a little bit. I'm gonna shine my shoes. This is good. You want to force yourself to be around people that are gonna force you to level up. Force yourself to be around people that are gonna get you to think bigger. Force yourself to be around people that are gonna challenge you. See, that's when the conversations start to get a little bit different. See, if your friends are constantly talking about the good old days, right? They're constantly talking about, oh, the way things used to be, right? Nothing's growing in that. So the first thing I wrote, so that's what I wrote down. Number one is I wrote down associations. Okay, we got to watch our associations, and we got to take an inventory of what our associations look like. The most beautiful thing for all of us in CGL, and we should be very, very excited and proud of this. And you know, I can't see you all, but we should be clapping, we should be cheering, is Corcoran Global Living. I mean, think about it. I mean, I don't know about you all, but I was sitting in the broker's room. I was getting a little comfortable. All of a sudden comes this new brand with new marketing, with new technology, with new training, with new tools. All of this just new things for me to be involved in. And all of a sudden, guess what happens? I don't know about you, but my business just starts to go through the roof. That's the power of association. The power of association. The second thing I wrote down was this, and you can write this down: complexity. Complexity. Anthony, I want to have a better 2022 than I did 2021. I want to make the third and fourth quarter powerful. I want to finish strong. I want to hit my goals. I want this to be the best Christmas I have ever had in my life this year. I'm going to do it this year. Well, complexity. So watch this. I wrote down, we as human beings, if you've ever read The Laws of Human Nature, we complicate things. We make things difficult. Remember this: complexity is the enemy of execution. Complexity is the enemy of execution. See, your brain really wants you to win, but we overcomplicate things. See, we don't keep things simple. We make things complicated. And I'm telling you, I've been surrounding myself, and I've surrounded myself with some of the most successful people in our industry. Rich Casto, and many of you know him, many of you don't know him. I've been exposed to Rich Casto, Rich Casto, you know, his process on how he goes about, recruiting, and how he goes about, bringing people into the CGL family. I wrote down this: the most successful people keep things painfully simple. The most successful producer in your office keeps things painfully simple. They wake up at the same time. They show up at the office or to their work at the same time. They do the same thing with their prospects. They do the same thing with their follow-up. They do the same presentation it's painfully simple. Painfully simple. People dabble. Most people dabble. They do a little bit of this. They do a little bit of that. Okay, I wrote down this: outwork everyone. The top producer in your office is outworking everyone. They're not making things difficult. They're just outworking everyone. See, we think, and this is how we make things very, very challenging on ourselves. We make things complex. We think, well, if I could just get the magic formula, right? If I could just read the book, if I could just go to the seminar, if I could just take the red pill, that's going to make me, perform at a higher level. The reality is this: the more work you put in, that's what's going to have you performing at higher levels. Because the people that work the hardest, the people that put in that effort, they're involved in a word called immersion. Okay, they're involved in a word called immersion. Now, what happens when you're involved in immersion? When you're involved in immersion, all right, you learn more. You learn more through experience than you do through anyone talking to you or telling. I mean, listen, the reality is that I could talk to you guys till I'm blue in the face. You can only learn. Let's just call it this: if learning was a scale of maybe 4 to 5, doing is a 10. Execution is a 10. You picking up the phone and calling the prospect that wants to list or sell list or buy a home, that's level 10. I could role play that with you as much as we want, but that doing portion of it, that's level 10 work right there. I wrote down this: the more you work, the more immersion you are in, the more you learn. It's very simple. People are invested, companies are invested in distracting you. They're invested in distracting you as an individual. They're invested in it. Okay, think about it. All of the emails that you're getting, they can be coming from everywhere. They come from coaching companies. They come from, they literally come from everywhere. All platforms on how to make your business easier and all of these things. personally, the thing that I love the most about CGL is it's all right there for you. You just log into one login. By the way, if you haven't logged into one login, log into one login, for crying out loud, right? But you just log into one login. You have all the training there. You have all the marketing there. You have, I mean, everything is literally right there for you. Okay. But can I tell you who is most invested? Is it okay? I'm just going to share. I'm going to ask you by typing in yes. Is it okay if I am perfectly honest with everyone? Can you just type in yes? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, it looks like we got enough yeses here. All right, fantastic. We got enough yeses. Can I tell you who's most invested in making things complicated on you? I don't know if you guys are gonna like this one. Adrian, the person who is most invested in making things complicated for you is you. That's the person who's most invested in making things complicated for you. I wrote down this. The reason why is because if it's somebody else's fault, then guess what? Then I have an out. If there's a book that I need to read, or if there's a seminar that I need to attend, or if there's something that I need to do, guess what? I'm okay because I still haven't done it yet. At the end of the day, team, action breeds results. Okay, action is going to breed the results. You being immersed in the goal that you're attempting to hit, you being immersed in the thing that you want to accomplish, man, that experience is going to be the gold there. You're going to learn more from your experiences, and you're going to learn more from your failures than you're learning from from any book or any speaker. Okay. That's the second word. The third word that I wrote down was this. So by the way, as I'm changing my life, I'm starting to realize this, because there's nobody, maybe there's somebody out there that was more invested in, I mean, you look at my Audible account, there's hundreds of books in there that I've listened to. I mean, seminars, for those of you that work in the Rancho office, you guys, there's a stack of books, of seminars that I've gone to. So as I'm growing, I'm starting to think, wait a minute, I got to fix my associations. Okay. I got to level up my associations. And number two, I got to stop making things so complex. I got to get to work, right? I got to get the experience. The next thing I wrote down is this: being aware of how busy you are. Be aware of how busy you are. Being busy equals you being more valuable. Now watch this. Truly, you have to truly be busy though, okay? So watch this. Truly have more appointments. 2 agents. 1 agent has 1 appointment. The other agent has 10 appointments. Think about it, okay? 1 agent has 1 appointment. The other agent has 10 appointments. Both are saying the same thing. Both are doing the same things. Who wins? The agent that has 10 appointments is going to win more often than not. Why? Because they're busy. Not only that, but there's a sense of urgency with everything that they're doing. There's a sense of, I've got to get something done with everything that they're doing. There's a value because of how busy you are. Too long early in my career, team, I wasn't busy enough. I'm going to be flat out. I wasn't busy. So why people started to feel that from me. I would sit and I would talk and I would talk and people knew, hey, he's got all day to talk to me. I got nothing really to do. You know, it's all good. Take all the time. Have you ever been to a doctor's office and you've been sitting there waiting for like, you're just sitting there waiting, and then all of a sudden they come in and they give you 5 minutes of your time and you are glued to them. You are glued to them. Start to treat your business the same way. Start to treat your business the same way, right? The minute you start saying, to the agent that's next to you that comes up, hey, you got 10 minutes to chat. I got this deal, or hey, I got 5, 10 minutes, just here and there. The minute you start saying, hey, I gotta go. I got 5 minutes. What's up? What's going on? People start to respect your time a lot more. You start to get more things done. Watch how busy you are. Okay. Treat your business this way. Treat your schedule this way. For the prospectors out there, treat your prospecting schedule that way. Treat your follow-up time that way. Treat your presentations that way. Okay. Is this making sense to everybody? Type in yes if it's making sense. Beautiful. The next word that I wrote down is this, and this is the big one that I'm going to end on. And maybe I'm going to go a little over, I think 25 minutes here or so. Discouragement. And I'm going to read through my notes so I can keep it quick. It's a concept that the opposition uses to wipe out dreams. Okay. It's the number one killer of dreams is this word called discouragement. If you just look at the word discouragement, discourage, it's to take your courage away from you. See, because the opposition thinks if I can get you down, then you can't win. There's no way. So I'm going to ask you all as a CGL family, we've got to fight it in our families. We got to fight it right here in our own family. We got to fight discouragement because I watch it in business all the time. Matter of fact, even for myself, I've tried different businesses and they didn't, man, I've tried different businesses. I thought, man, this is going to win. This is going to go. This is the one. You know what ends up happening? Discouragement ends up happening. At some point, I felt discouraged on the goal or the dream that I was looking to obtain, right? A partner felt, discouraged, and they didn't feel the same passion. Discouragement crept in, right? And if you're feeling discouragement in your real estate business right now, I'm here to share with you, stop it. You've got a new association. You've got a whole brand new association with our CGL family. It is the most beautiful thing in the world. See, and as I was mentioning, people do it in relationships all the time. People do it in business all the time. People just do it all the time. Discouragement gets the best of them. Have you ever heard a straight A? I wrote this down. Have you ever heard a straight A student say, "Oh, I got straight A's. I'm quitting school. I'm done with school. I got straight A's." It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. But discouragement is the killer of all dreams. See, when people are around you and they're overdosing you with love, encouragement, empathy, right? Action, then guess what? That starts to rub off on you too. When you leave, and I'm sharing this with all of you, when you leave here, the word discouragement, and you're going to go on into your week, the word discouragement is going to start to come into play. People are going to try to discourage you from your real estate dreams all the time. They're going to say things like, I mean, come on, really? You want to earn 50, 100, 250, $500,000, $1 million by the end of the year? Come on. Yeah, that's crazy, right? That's crazy. I believe that you can. I know that your leadership believes that you can. I truly do. I truly do feel that you can go out and accomplish the goals that you set, as long as you watch your associations, okay? As long as you don't make it too complicated, as long as you truly work to maintain a busy schedule and treat it that way, and as long as you avoid discouragement. Think about, for any of you guys that watch the NBA Finals in Giannis, see, the thing that so many people, because I sat back and I watched that, the thing that so many people loved about that was how much discouragement was fought in order for him to be there. I mean, you look at a family, a mom and 3 boys. I'm still not too clear with what happened to the dad, but a mom and 3 boys selling in a market just to keep the lights on. I mean, think about the amount of, and all 3 of his brothers are in the NBA, and they all have NBA championship rings. See, the thing we love about that, right? Tom Brady being down in the 4th quarter and coming back. The thing we love about that is at any given point in time, could have quit any given point in time. We love these stories. Let's build that in ourselves, right? We got to fight discouragement. How? Faith. And here's what I'll end with. Faith is focusing on the future. See, act in the now, but think in the future. Act in the now, think in the future. Watch this. Most people's current condition, they're right now, probably not, maybe they're going to get a little discouraged about it. See, that's the thing, right? We shine a big fat mirror in our face, and then guess what happens? Man, my situation right now, I'm discouraged. I can't. Let's act in the now, but let's think in the future. See, when we start thinking in the future, faith starts to become a reality, right? I can make this better. I can make this stronger. It's never as bad as it seems. It's never as good as it seems. Act in the now, think in the future, okay? And with that being said, that's the end of my notes. If there's questions, I'd love to answer the questions. I hope that today inspired you. I hope that it uplifted you. I will share with you all, I am so grateful to be a part of this Corcoran Global Living community because I have absolutely upgraded my associations, and it has truly, challenged me in a very great way to become a better individual. So thank you all for your time today. I really do appreciate it.
Anthony, thank you so much. You did this point. I knew that when we were going to have you talking today, that there was going to be a lot of energy, and I had to mentally prepare myself for that. Anyway, it's really there's some key ideas there, and I really loved seeing how many top producers from throughout the state or that were online today and that were responding. And so it's basically hitting the people that it's important to hit, because if they're respecting what's going on, then everybody needs to respect what's going on. Let's see if we have any questions. Any questions at all, please feel free to enter them either in the Q&A or in either place. Sure. Thank you, Anthony. That was excellent. Lots of great accolades and support for this.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you all so much. Let's go out. Let's execute. I don't know what else is on the agenda, but if there's anything I can do to be of service, please let me know. So, always
a pleasure, Anthony. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And everybody, thank you for tuning in today and listening to the presentation, and we'll see you town hall.